Now today's stitch of the week is, or should I say this week's stitch of the week, is the Primrose Stitch. So hopefully you can see these look like little flowers. The tutorial will be in one colour, but I have done this in two colours. You can see I've just snipped the ends off here, partly because you are cutting the ends every time you do a row, and I know that's not always great for sewing in ends, is it? But it's such a very pretty stitch, and that's what we're going to be making. So for the Primrose Stitch, I am using a quite thin double knit with a 4mm hook, but you can use any yarn weight and an appropriate sized hook. And I am going to make this as one colour, just for the actual video, for the demonstration, but you could make it two colours, and I'll show you a piece that I've done in two colours just to show you what that looks like. Now for our multiples, we want multiples of 3, and then we want to add 2. So I'm going to do for this a multiple of 3 and take us to 18, then add 2. So I'm going to do 20 in total. So there we have 20, and this is going to be a 2-row repeat. So the first row is just our setup row, if you will, and then after that we'll start with our 2-row repeat. So we are going to miss the first 2, and let me just show you that again. So I'm going to miss the first 2 chains, and then in the 3rd chain, that's where we're going to start. Now the 2 chains that you have just missed will be your will count as a half double crochet, so that's a US term. In UK terms, that's a half treble. So you might want to make a stitch marker, or place a stitch marker in that 2nd chain, so the one that's closest to the stitch that we're about to make. I will explain the stitches as we go along. So we're going to make, first of all, in the 3rd chain from the hook, and we are making a US single, UK double. So I am put my hook in, drawing a loop up. I have 2 left on my hook, and I'm going to draw over, yarn over, and pull through both of those. Then I'm making a chain 2, so chain 2, and then I'm making the same stitch again. So again, another single crochet or UK double, and then I am missing 2 stitches. And in the 3rd one again, I'm making the same pattern. So a single, followed by 2 chains, followed by a single. Miss 2, and then in that 3rd one again, we're going to do exactly the same. Miss 2, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, miss 2, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet, so again miss 2, single crochet, oh dear me, chain 2, and single crochet. Now in the last chain, so you'll have 2 left, we're going to make that a half double crochet, or that's US terms, or a half treble if you're in the UK. So we're going into that very last one. So I've yarned over, I've gone into it, I'm pulling the loop through, I've got 3 on my hook, I'm yarning over, and I'm pulling through all 3. So effectively we've got 2 half trebles or half doubles on either side, and then this single crochet, chain 2, single crochet all along. Now at this point you're going to make a US double, UK treble. So you can either do that by chaining 3, or you can make a standing stitch So we can either chain 3 or standing stitch. So whichever you prefer, I'm going to make a standing stitch. I just think it looks a bit better. I have got a video on that if you don't know how to do it. If not, a chain 3 will work just as well. It just isn't quite as tidy to my eyes. Now, here we have that little section where, oh, there we go, that little section where we've got a single crochet, the 2 chains and a single crochet. And what we're going to do is where that 2 chains are, we're going to go under the space that's made, and we're going to put 3 double crochets, US terms, or 3 treble crochets for UK terms. We're going to put that into there. So we're going to go around the chain itself, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then we're going to go to the next chain 2 space and repeat that. And we're going to do that all the way along until we've done all of them. So you can see this is easily customizable, isn't it? To a blanket or a scarf. Make a very pretty scarf, I think. Doesn't seem to be quite just right, do I? Let me just move that a little bit. Might be easier. It's a little bit better, isn't it? The actual yarn's quite shiny as well, so that's not necessarily helping. And I'm going to do my last set of 3 now. Okay, and then that's my single crochet there. So I want to be going into this chain, and I'm going to place another double into that chain. So that's the top of the chain 2. Okay, so that's my first section complete. So we'll do another 2 rows just so you can see the repeats. So again, we're wanting to do a half double, so you can chain 2, which I will do just because it's harder to see that chain 2 when you come back, so I can show you again. And then in the middle of the 3 double crochets, we're going to make the same set of stitches that we made at the bottom. So a single crochet, a chain 2, and a single crochet, just like that. I'm going to do that in the middle one of each one all the way along. So whilst it's a 2-row repeat, it's a fairly easy one once you've got your head around it. Okay, so now that's my, I just need to get a bit more yarn. That's the last of those. Now I'm now going to go again and put my half double in the top of this 2 chains. So that's my single crochet space. Hopefully you can see that, which means that this section here is that second chain. There we go. Just grab a bit more yarn so we can do 1 more row. And then I'll show you what it looks like with a different colour flower, if you will. So again, oh, I put a double crochet there. It should have been a half double. Let me just take that out. I'm going to confuse everybody. So at the end, place a half double. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to make a standing double. You can do a chain 3, and then we're going to place our 3 stitches in that central section, and I'm going to continue to do that till the end, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet right in the last stitch. So I am going to leave that there, and I'll bring you out the one that I did with the different colours. So this is the one that I did with the different colours, and as I say, this is called the Primrose Stitch. So I did yellow and green because I thought that would look quite pretty, and the 3 double crochets are representing the flowers, and then the single crochets, chain 2 single crochets, are representing the sort of the leaves and the base of the flower. Now, I've done this in an acrylic, and I wonder if the structure of a cotton might make it stand out a little bit more. So it'd be interesting if you do this in a cotton. It'd be interesting to see if that is the case, and what that looks like. But that is the Primrose Stitch.